Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire. It's a long title, but it's Rebel Moon, right? So Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon on Netflix. Gotta love that. 2 hours and 15 minutes, a little long. Now, I don't know how much I know about this. I mean, I had it on my list because I thought it's like a Star Wars story. And I know it's like sci-fi and stuff like that, but for some reason I think it is related to Star Wars in some form or fashion. I could be completely wrong. They could be just comparing it to Star Wars. But it's a peaceful settlement on the edge of a distant moon finds itself threatened by armies of a tyrannical ruling force. A mysterious stranger living among the villagers becomes the best hope for survival. Okay. I don't know. Only 6.0 on IMDb. That's very low, I think. I'm very disappointed in that score. And when I click through on Netflix, it says it's the number 3 movie on Netflix. The number 3 movie. What are 1 or 2? I mean, it just came out on Thursday and Friday. I was like, this has got to be... I mean, of course, I think Leave the World Behind should probably be number 1. But Sofia, Boutella, and Michiel Huisman was in it. And Charlie Hunnam is in it. Anthony Hopkins. I know I'm probably butchering a lot of names, but there's people I know and I recognize, and you might too. So, I don't know. I guess set my expectations a little bit lower. We'll see. But I was really excited to see this. And somebody let me know. Does it really have to do with Star Wars or not? I don't know. Well, maybe I'll figure it out. But stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody. I want to do a rare check-in here. We're watching Rebel Moon. We're at the 1 hour, 14 minute, 52 second mark. There's an hour left in the film. Gotta stop it here because I had to look it up, right? So I had to find out. Rebel. They even talk about resistance, all that kind of stuff. It is not a Star Wars movie. Evidently this was pitched to the Lucas film conglomerate as this should be a Star Wars movie, but it's not. It's a standalone film. And it's going to be its own franchise. But when you watch it, it seems so Star Wars-y. I mean, they even have glowing swords. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... There are some stark differences, like some of the creatures and stuff like that, but it really, I mean, up until just Googling it 2 minutes ago, I realized it was not a Star Wars film. Which is, you know, and I was criticizing, I'm like, that's not very Star Wars-y, you know, in little pieces of that, so that'll help, but... I can't feel like, I feel more like it's a ripoff now. You know what I mean? Anyway, and I had to start it here because, you know, the whole story is the homeland, motherland, whatever, like those people, like the Empire, we'll call them the homeland, are coming to take over this one little planet that are just farmers, happy people, and was run by the guy from Billions. I have to look his name up. The new later seasons, not anyway. The guy who's running for president, if you've seen that. Anyway, so they come there, and of course the girl, who is our main character, strong female lead, love her, love the character, like her a lot. She's going out to find all of these other warriors to help fight the motherland, right? Or you know, whatever. So they're going out and doing all that. So Charlie Hunnam is one of them. Finds him. Great. Let's go. You're part of the gang. Let's keep going. She comes into this one where this other lady comes in and there's a spider, like a half spider, half human kind of thing. That's kind of the part. It's like, that's not very Star Wars-y, but I guess, you know, whatever. It's cool because it's standalone. It's not Star Wars. So I'm like, all right, make it your own. What? Big battle. Big battle ensues between her and the spider woman. Right? And you're trying to collect warriors, and this one warrior, potential warriors out there battling the spire, almost dying, doing a lot of crazy stuff. There's a kid involved, and none of the other rebels get involved. Like the people recruiting her, like should have just stepped in and been like, boom, done. But they don't. So that's why I had to stop it right here. I was like, what? Like you want to recruit her for your whole big mission, but you're not going to help her with this one spider. I mean, the one guy stepped in to save the child, but otherwise they just, ooh, that looks like that hurt, you know, like, I don't know. So I had to stop it right there because it kind of bothered me, but I also wanted to share with you the fact that it's not Star Wars. but it's Star Wars. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Rebel Moon, Part 1. I'm just seeing it now. Part 2 comes out April 19th, 2024. So, spoiler alert, I will watch that one. I did enjoy this. It's hard for me to separate it from Star Wars. I really feel like, I don't know why they didn't connect it, right? I get it, I guess the Lucasfilm industry said no, but it's so similar. Like the whole, everything, it connects it. And I have a hard time with that. Obviously, I won't go down to that. I continue down that path, but that's the only thing that really, well, that's not the only thing. That's one of the things that really, man, there's so many, it's just, it's a big thing for me. The other piece, I liked Sofia, whatever her name was. I didn't realize I saw her before. She was in Hotel Artemis as well. She's been in a couple other things, but really good job. Good, strong female lead. I like her better than Rey, I think. I don't know. I liked her character better. Rey was great. I know I'm comparing it to Star Wars. The big thing is, I'm a Star Wars guy. Star Wars. I always say Star Wars. Everybody calls it The New Hope. No, Star Wars. And Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi was my jam. And then they started with the prequels, and then the post-quills, or whatever, you know. Still enjoyed them. I appreciate them making more movies about it. Rogue One was phenomenal. I thought that was the best post-Return of the Jedi Star Wars movie that they made. I thought they did such a great job of capturing all that. And then I love Mandalorian, all that. So that's where my heart is. So you see this, and it's like it feels like an effort that you want to love, but you can't because it's not related. Sorry, I said I was going to stop that. I'm stopping it now. The other piece about this film, where I think it's an area of opportunity, they went out, and I told you in the break, they're out recruiting other rebels, if you will, people to join their gang, right? And these are tough guys. These are, you know, people who can hold their own. It's very exciting getting them on. There's no depth behind those people. Charlie Hunnam is probably the only one that they give a little depth to. Everybody else is just like, okay, yeah, we could see them fight or why we picked them, but there's no character depth there at this point in Part 1, and I wanted that. You know, if they're going to go out and battle, and they're going to fight these bad guys, which is Ed Skrein, by the way. I didn't realize that at first. I was like, I know this guy, I know this guy, I know this guy. I got to look him up. I was like, oh my gosh, he looks so much more mature, you know, facially, I guess, physically, than he has in the past. And I know he's got a different haircut, but I was like, I didn't recognize him. I was like, oh wow, great, I love him too. Fantastic, he's in it. But if you're going to go out and battle this villain, you know, and you're going to risk your life for, you know, what we think is going to be very important, I want to care about you in case you get hurt or you die or whatever. Didn't have that going into it. You only really cared about her and the guy who really likes her. His name's Michael Herrera or something like that. He's in a lot of different things. I think he was in, whatever. He was in, you'll recognize him. I always remember him as being the bad guy. I think it was Nashville TV show where he was the guy who swooped in and took the girl. Anyway. I enjoyed it. I think I didn't enjoy it. I don't have to go down. I think you get me, right? You get where I was going with all this. Good, but could have been great. And I would have looked past the lack of character development, because I know there's a part 2, and maybe we'll get it there. So I'm okay there. But just connect it. Make it Star Wars. Take all these other goofy things out. Like, you can see it. You can see, like, okay, great, we have this whole movie. They're not going to take it as part of Star Wars, so change this piece of it. You know, and it's like, you know, instead of, I don't know how to, instead of the chamber that, you know, the guy rejuvenates himself in Star Wars, make it snakes. You know what I mean? That's what they did. That's how they rewrote it. It was like, okay, we got to change all these things so it's not exactly like Star Wars, but it's very close. So, alright, that's it. I know it's a longer review because I did a check-in, but hopefully this was helpful. I can see why the reviews are low. The end. I'm done talking. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish.